A pub landlord refuses to sell what to customers?
Beer.
No.
No. Blowjobs.
No, I think this guy was perfectly fine with that.
He's like, I'm not selling you this other thing, but yeah, BJs are fine. Yeah, I mean, those are the things I think you would restrict the selling of. So I'm not sure.
What about?
Oh my God! Yeah, that shouldn't be sold to anybody at any time ever.
So today I was looking for the chocolate sandmig, but it seems like they've only announced that it's coming out. But yeah, it's not out yet. Except in Thailand, for some reason, it seems like it is. But here, they've only announced that it exists.
Not only should that beer not be sold to people, nobody should attempt to buy it or drink it at all. So there you go.
But doesn't this count for you like 5 a day of fresh fruit and vegetables and fruit and vegetables?
Yeah, if you have 5 of them. Well.
Yeah, so then today Paula randomly sent me a message. She was at a family thing and she's like, oh, they have lychee or apple beer. Do you want one? And I'm like, okay. So she brought it home for me. So,
well.
But this pub, the pub owner refuses to sell customers glasses of Coke because his pub is for drinkers only.
I mean, what does he think people are doing with the Coke? Snorting it? It's they're gonna drink it, but yeah, but that's a bit weird. I mean, you're selling beverages. You're in business to sell beverages.
He says that someone sipping on a soft drink in his bar isn't ideal.
I mean, have you seen the prices of a glass of Coke in a pub? He's probably making more money off that than the beer. So,
especially when they use like the premix stuff and whatever. Like it's the cost price is probably like 2 cents.
Yeah.
He says this guy came in and ordered a Coke. This is a direct quote. This guy came in and ordered a Coke. Well, a glass of Coke doesn't really work for me.
Can you imagine him like going home and being like, wait till you find out what happened at work today? Rick came in and he asked for a glass of Coke. Everyone's like, and then what happened? That's it. That's the story. It's like, dude, you need better anecdotes. But
like McDonald's,
yeah,
like,
I think
that's you know, an apple pie. We sell burgers and fries, and that's it. Do not order an apple pie in my McDonald's.
I knew there was something going on with that apple pie business. But yeah, I feel, you know, I mean, a glass of Coke might not work for you, but for that guy who ordered it, I mean, he's paying well over street price for some Coke. So, you know.
He said that we're selling up to 700 pints of Guinness a day. We only have a small number of tables, so someone sitting there for Coke isn't ideal. We are so busy at the moment, even today we've sold hundreds of pints and it's only 2:30.
I mean, that's great. But you could also sell hundreds of pints of Guinness and hundreds of pints of Coke. There's no, like, you're making money either way. It's fine. I don't know. That sounds bizarre that he would do that. But hey, it's his business. I guess he can do what he wants. But
well, back in July, he also made headlines because he put up a sign warning punters that he'd no longer be serving half pints of Guinness. Yeah,
well, that's reasonable. If you're ordering half pint of Guinness, you need to stop. That's just wrong. So it's it's a pint of Guinness. And if you want a half pint, fuck off. That's fair. So no problem with that part of it.
Except usually isn't the markup higher on the half pints?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But still. Yeah, because the price tends to be like, I don't know, 80% or 70% of what a full pint is. So, you tend to make more on them. But yeah, they're only for pussies. So
he says it is a bit of work with Guinness. It is a bit of an art form. Really, we are a city centre pub. We are a small pub. If people pay you by cash, they are also using your change in the till. So how dare you use this man's change?
Right. So this guy doesn't like money. He doesn't like making money. He doesn't want people to use money to get change so they can buy more pints and stuff in his bar.
Yeah. Why don't you use credit cards so he can pay a percentage of it to the credit card company for a transaction fee?
Exactly. Yeah. It seems like this dude just doesn't want to make money. That's his problem. He's like, I want to have all the costs, but none of the profits.
We only accept exact change, and we charge 5.95.
He's probably one of those businesses that has a sign up that says if you pay by credit card, there's a €2, £2, $2, whatever charge for processing the fee, which costs him like, I know, 50 cents or something.
Actually, they made a law in Australia that it's illegal to charge more than what the actual fee is. And yet so many places still do it. I actually was in a place where a guy would started arguing with the people. He's like, you know what you're doing is illegal, and I could have you in trouble. And they're freaking out. And
yeah, well, it sounds like if there's a whole law against it, which there should be, that's fine. But these places get away with murder, I think, with this sort of stuff. But yeah, this one particular landlord of a pub. Where is this? This is probably in England somewhere, is it?
It's in Belfast.
Oh, okay. But then, yeah, I feel like. Oh, I think I heard about this. Is this a place called Bittles or something like that?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. It's supposed to be a really great pint of Guinness, like the best pint of Guinness in Belfast. And they've been doing really well. So, I mean, still, you got to let people pay cash and order something that's not Guinness from time to time.
Imagine going in there and being like, I'll have a shot of Jameson, and the guy's like, no, you won't.
I wonder, do they sell 0% Guinness? You got that, non-alcoholic Guinness stuff. I want some of that.
I have a decaf soy latte.
Extra foam, please.
That would be and 2 sugars.
It'd probably be like 2 sugars. Get out of my boat. Oh man, yeah. Wow, I hadn't heard you kick someone out because of the coke, but that is extreme. I just don't understand it. There you go. Anyway.
Yeah. It would be fun to go in there just to piss them off. And
oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like this guy is like the Guinness Nazi, like from Seinfeld, the suit Nazi. This guy's. You have to order exactly the way that he wants and pay the exact change. And
yeah, the fun way to do it would be going with like €100 bill, which are extremely rare. Because people just don't use them, but it's going to €100 or £100 because it's Belfast, £100, and be like, sorry, I have nothing smaller. And then when he gives you his change, take out a load of smaller notes and be like, oh look, I had smaller. Oops. Yeah.
Now I have a half pint of Coke, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Will you go in there and order Budweiser?
It seems so wrong. But yeah, I think it might be like a thing to just do a challenge. How can we get kicked out of this pub? Like, who can get kicked out quicker?
It does sound like it'd be a fun place to go to piss the guy off.
It does, yeah. I'll have a pint of Coke. I'll be paying with cash, please. Yeah. I wonder what his thoughts on 7-Up are, or Fanta.
Yeah, we both go in with like 100-pound notes in order just a Coke. Or have a whole table of people and each person individually, one by one, goes and does it until he cracks.
What we need is like 7 people to go in and each sit at a different table and just order like a half pint of Guinness. No, a half pint of Guinness or a Coke, and just sit there and be like reading the newspaper. You just get kicked out so fast. It'd be fun. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this pub is not going to keep those rules for very long, though, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a reputation that you've actually heard of it, then maybe.
And it's supposed to be a great pint of Guinness, like the best pint of Guinness in Belfast by a mile. It's supposed to be like fantastic. But yeah, but the Coke is shite, so don't bother if you're
If he was smart, he would just have like the Coke tap, like have it so that it's shit, and then you discourage people that way.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to run your business. We've got shit Coke, but great Guinness. If I ever open a pub, that's what we're going to do.
Well, what's the weirdest reason you've heard for a hospital to be evacuated?
Zombies.
Pretty boring.
That might have been a movie. I don't know. I've never heard of a hospital being evacuated, really, other than I suppose for like some nut job, going in and trying to attack people. But that's.
I mean, you could kind of say this was attacking. Well, okay. A man who was 88 sparked a hospital evacuation in France after arriving with an 80-inch World War I, sorry. It's a big difference. Artillery shell stuck in his rectum.
Why do we always have somebody who stuck something up their ass and forgot and was like, it was an accident? No, it wasn't. It was up your ass on accident, okay?
We've all been there. We've all accidentally got a World War I bomb stuck in our rectum.
I'm just saying there's very few circumstances where you accidentally put something like that where...
Imagine you actually accidentally did. Like you had a family heirloom and somehow fell on the stairs and landed perfectly. And you're like, for fuck's sake, how am I going to explain to people?
I don't, you're never going to be believed that it was an accident. It's like, no, we know what you were doing. It's fine. Don't do that. So
I swear it was an accident. Then how come there's lube all over this?
It's funny. There seems to be strawberry flavored lube all over this. Oh man, we just, I have fear for the human race. I really do. Because
the other thing is, just thinking about this, like the whole situation. Say you do get a World War I bomb stuck in your ass, right? Yeah. How do you then get to the hospital? Like, say you're in home, you slipped and fell on on the bomb and accidentally dropped lube on top of it as you were flying through the air. What happened was you had the lube in your hand as you were walking on the stairs. You dropped the bottle, stepped on it, it squirted on the thing, and like a banana peel, you slipped on that and then flew through the air and landed ass first on top of the bomb. And now you're standing there with it stuck inside you. You can't pull it out. But now you got to get yourself to the hospital. You can't drive because you can't sit in the seat. Like, you can't even get a taxi because how do you explain to the taxi driver? And it's not like you can put some kind of sheet behind you that covers it.
I mean, hopefully, you live in walking distance and you just take it very slowly. That is, I don't know, but yeah, it's a good point. Like, what is the thought process of? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to do something here. Like you get to a point where you're like, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital.
And yeah, obviously, like the first 10 things you try is to try to like not do that.
Yeah, you're like, how do I get it out of there? Like I've seen, there's probably a lot of watching YouTube or a hub site, for example, how to open up your butthole to get bombs out of it or whatever. I don't know. I just like a warning to people out there: don't put stuff in your butt that's not supposed to go there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, but it does go on to say in the article, it is understood that the man had inserted it in his bottom for sexual pleasure.
I mean, I just love his honesty. You know, I'm just fucking around. I feel like
if you're at that point, you're like, yeah.
What was it? He was 88.
Yeah.
He's just fucking around. He's like, this is going to be.
At that point, you don't care.
He's like, what have I not done in my life? Either this is going to be a great story or it's going to be a long day. One or the other. Yeah. Well, we've all had a glimpse into our future right there.
I mean, yeah, when I'm 88, I have to go out that way.
You got to go somehow, man. It may as well be a hilarious story.
Imagine he died, the bomb went off and he died from it. And then technically he was the last person to die from World War I.
Technically, yeah.
Imagine telling people, oh yeah, we lost my grandfather in World War I. And you're like, oh wow. Was he shot in Normandy or something? Well, actually.
Yeah, be kind of a difficult one to explain, all right, but there you go. It's
So I feel like the tombstone has to read the last person to die in World War I.
I feel like there's probably 3 or 4 of those out there already, and people like didn't expect these weird stories to come along. And like they had to amend it. 3rd last person to die. It's not as special. There you go. Anyway, yeah. I just hope that when I'm 88, I'm experimenting sexually still. So, you know.
Yeah, once it was dislodged from the man's rectum, doctors measured the shell at 8 inches long and more than 2 inches wide.
Cool. There you go. He was there we go. He was really going for it, especially if he was like, you know what, it just needs to go a little bit deeper. And then it was gone. So there you go.
Yeah.
If you're going to use just weird objects as dildos, do something to make sure you can get it back out again. That's all. Just be careful. Especially
that sounds like a man speaking from experience there.
I mean, you know, I read things on the internet. That's probably where I'm talking from. We think. Let's just move on swiftly and see what happens when we're 88.
Yeah, well, the man is recovering well and in good health. So there you go.
Every time he walks past the medicine cabinet, they're like, stop looking at those bottles. You can't.
I mean, if he's done that right, surely he's going to want to do something next time. Like, it's not like he's just going to stop there, right? At 88, he'd be stuck in his ways.
I hope that, like, he just didn't know that dildos existed. And then someone's going to be like, did you know you could have just used this? And he's like, what? That's way better than possibly explosive material.
Yeah, wait till this man discovers the internet.
Yeah, you know.
If this guy's doing this now, surely at least one person during World War I did this back then, and then couldn't explain to people what happened. How many people out there died during what? And I'm going to Google this because this needs to be my Google history. How many people? How many people in World War One died from sexual mishaps?
Yeah.
It comes up with lots of stuff about like AIDS and whatever.
I didn't have AIDS in World War One.
No, I think they do. According to this.
Google is full of shit. So
World War One died from. It talks about like sexual violence and stuff, but not sexual from inserting bombs into their rectum. Somehow it goes up to malaria.
I mean, that's not the same. So come on, Google, do better.
Slightly different, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they need to update that search result.
And how many like kamikazes were just like human kamikazes and were just like like before they had suicide vests. Surely there was someone who was like, screw you guys, I'm inserting this bomb into my ass and
and then I'm going to sit down in your coffee shop or your office or whatever. That's going to be that. Kaboom. Yeah.
Imagine how much that would mess with the enemy.
It would be pretty wild. Every time talking with someone, do not sit down. Do not let them sit down. Just whatever you do.
If those Germans come running at you, do not let them sit.
No sitting, only standing forever. Thank you. Yeah, wow, man. That's. I feel like they should have done a health and safety meeting before the whole war. Like, do not shove these artillery shells in your butt.
Well, they should have put like a faceplate so that like if people did, they should have come into this knowing that people were going to.
You should pretty much realize no matter what you make, it's going to end up in someone's butt at some point or another. Someone's going to just use it for a sex toy, no matter what it is. So
bayonet.
Yeah.
Flamethrower.
You know, people got their kinks, man. Yeah. So anyway, good to know there's still people when they're 88 experimenting and in dangerous ways, literally. Oh.
Well, drinkers are warned against using offensive terms whilst drinking over the holidays.
I mean, what? What kind of? I mean, if you're drinking, what kind of terms? I mean, shouldn't non-drinkers also not use offensive terms? I'm just
terms such as happy hour and pub crawl are to be avoided.
Why? Those are fine.
Well, pub crawl is obviously deeply offensive to people who can't walk.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
it's exclusionary language, apparently, and lad culture, which can be alienating to many.
I mean,
beer banter is fine. Just make sure it's inclusive to everyone.
I mean, who wrote this? The fucking woke society of Woketown? This is some bullshit right here because
Campaign for Real Ale wrote this. We sent this.
The thing is, like, the word crawl is used in many ways. Like, traffic has, come to a crawl or whatever. Or we were, people don't just use it as a literal person crawling.
Well, there's other terms you use that are, I've heard you use this one before. It's pretty offensive. Right. It says, and I quote, "Treat your colleagues to a drink after work rather than join the lads for a swift few."
I mean, I have said that before. So, I don't see what's wrong with a swift few. What's wrong with that? It's
joining the lads.
I mean, if you're with a group of lads, what's the problem?
Well, I guess it's a few. Maybe you should be having 7, and maybe that's what they're upset about.
Right now, you are to explain exactly the exact number. You were explaining. You were mentioning you're going to have here. I don't feel like
friends only wants to have 3, and now because you said few, they have to have 3, but they were going to have 4, and then now you've shamed them. That's the real news. Yeah.
If they're that sensitive, they can fuck off.
You could ruin someone's day by limiting them to only a few.
I don't care. I don't think so. I think most of the people who I would be sharing a few drinks with would be fine with that terminology. They've gone through the vetting process. They're not complete dickheads, so they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's exclusionary language, my arse. That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's just
all right. Well, now you've been known to frequent ladyboy bars. Have you ever made this mistake?
So,
I'm not going to read the headline. We'll get into the story because the headline kind of gives it away. It was a scorching hot summer day, and I was wandering around Chiang Mai in Thailand. I heard about the city being a great place for sex tourism and decided to check it out for myself. I heard tales of ladyboys that could be found in the seedy back streets and alleyways, and I was curious to find out more. I eventually stumbled across a shady-looking bar that promised the best ladyboys in town.
Ooh.
I walked in, and sure enough, there were a few ladyboys scattered around the place. I've never seen a ladyboy before, and I was immediately attracted to one of them. She was stunningly beautiful with perfect curves and an incredibly alluring face. I decided to approach her. She was quite friendly and seemed receptive to my advances. We got to talking, and it soon became clear that she was a professional sex worker.
Oh, my horror. How did you? Wow. Oh, my God.
He said, I was taken aback by this revelation, which seems a bit odd, but anyway, okay. But she assured me that she was safe to be with and that I would have a great time if I decided to take her back to my hotel room. I was hesitant at first, but she was so charming that I eventually agreed to take her back with me. When we arrived, I quickly found myself in a situation I hadn't expected. Now, can you guess what that situation was?
Did he not expect a penis? Feeling like that's what he wasn't expecting an old penis to show up there.
No. He knew it was a ladyboy.
All right.
Well, it says instead of giving it to her, she ended up giving it to me.
Oh, no. That is terrible. But either way, I think you were game for it, so it's all good.
Well, I feel like it just doesn't. It's not like you're just standing there and the next second.
There you go.
Yeah. There is some level of lead up to anything that.
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of like you don't slip and fall on the stairs and land on a World War I bomb that's lubed up. You also don't slip and fall on the stairs and land on a ladyboy. It's also lubed up.
Yeah, you don't just walk into the hotel room too closely behind or in front of her, and then there you go. But there's so much to this story that's a little bit off. Like, I had heard that there may be sex tourism in Thailand. Really? There may be? And then I went looking for ladyboys. You didn't have to look too fucking hard, did you? And then The revelation, she was a professional sex worker in a bar. That was like best ladyboys in town. Come on, my friend. You know what this is. You knew what was going on. So I'm pretty sure he also knew he was going to get it in the ass as well. So
Well, it does go on to say, I was completely taken aback by this turn of events. I'd expected to be the one in control, but it had all turned around on me. She was incredibly skilled, and I found myself unable to resist her advances. Eventually, I just surrendered to her and let her do her thing. I have to admit that it was one of the best sex experiences of my life. I had never felt so alive and connected to someone else before.
I mean, he says best. He means only experiences of his life.
I think that if you didn't want that, then I don't think that.
I also there's a couple of things that are just so alarming about the story. Like, she told me she was completely safe to be with. Like, she's gonna stand there like, oh yeah, I've got all these STDs, by the way. Just in case you wanted to know, you're gonna have to get some shots after this. Yeah. Well, hey, it's a good experience if you enjoyed it. So.
Well, it does say, afterwards, I felt a bit embarrassed that I'd been so easily taken in by a ladyboy. But I also felt incredibly satisfied and happy. I realized that I had stumbled across something special and unique.
Oh. I mean, special and unique. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, hey, whatever floats your boat, man. That's cool. I feel like, though, the whole setup of the story is trying to explain to his friends, like, oh my God, I just happened to be in Thailand and somebody said there might be sex tourism. So, wow. I went looking for it, and then guess what? Now I'm married to a ladyboy. Sorry about that. So.
It's like, oh, I slipped on the stairs, fell on my World War I bomb, and it was the greatest experience ever.
You could say it was explosive. But yeah, the life is different for everybody. You know, you go into seedy backstreet bars, you never know where you're gonna be coming later in the evening. But yeah, you know, ladyboy bars are great crack. Good times. Anyway.
Yeah.
My advice, though, is always know what you're getting yourself into when you go to a hotel room with an individual. Know which way it's going to go before you get there.
Well, I mean, why would you write an article that you were surprised? Like, I don't know who you're trying to convince.
Yeah, it is a little bit like, I mean, he could have fallen back on, this was done purely for journalistic purposes, just so I could let my readers know. It's the only reason it happened. But of course, nobody would believe in that either. So, there you go.
It's, yeah, just absurd. Well, this next story was on the related stories, and I read it, and it's too hard not to just go to this, okay?
Okay.
So I was devastated when my grandmother passed away. She was the most loving, compassionate person I'd ever known, and I felt like a part of me had died when she did. Now, can you guess what this person did to feel closer to their grandmother?
I really don't want to guess, because I feel like, because we're talking about it right now, it's something fucking weird. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like grandma's ashes were turned into something that wasn't holistic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say 8 grandma's ashes. That's tame for what I expect to happen. Anyway,
that kind of is a bit tame. Well, I don't know about tame, but for months after her death, I felt an ache in my heart. I missed her so much and was desperate to find a way to keep her memory alive. One day I was going through her things, trying to find something that would help me feel close to her again. I stumbled across her favorite bra. And the moment I touched it, I felt a wave of emotion come over me. I brought the bra close to my face and inhaled, taking in her scent. I could almost feel her presence in the room, and it was like a comforting embrace. For weeks after that, I would take the bra out of the drawer and just sit there and hold it close to me. I found it was a great way to keep her memory alive, and I was so comforted by her scent. I even started snuggling with the bra at night so that I could feel like I was being held in my grandmother's arms. I know that it might sound strange to some people,
No,
but it was
not
my way of coping with her death. My grandmother was such an important part of my life, and I still miss her every day. But thanks to her bra, I can still feel her presence with me, and it brings me a lot of comfort. I know that my grandmother is no longer with me in a physical sense, but I can still feel her in my heart. I think that's the most important thing. I will always miss her, but I know that she will be with me in spirit, and that's what really matters. So I'll keep her bra close to me and take it whenever I need a reminder of how much I miss her.
well. I think potentially some of her other clothing might have done the same trick, and potentially not as being
advocating for use grandma panties.
No, that's not where I was going. It's interesting that that's where you went. But now that you have, we're all so it's fine. I don't know. Also, how did this person know that was your grandma's favorite bra? Maybe it was just in regular rotation. I don't know how it was her favorite one. But yeah, that's not where I would have gone, to be quite honest. I can see someone sitting on a train and they just like hugging a bra, just like him, just a big, I'm trying to feel comforted, and everyone being like, what the fuck's going on here? He's like, it's fine, guys. This is my grandma's bra. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. I
don't know. It's that weird.
I leave your grandma's lingerie collection after she passes. It's not for you. That's what I'm going to say. Oh.
All right. Well, let's get back to some normal stuff. So what are some signs that your boyfriend is gay?
Well, let me tell you. If you're a dude and you have a boyfriend, he's probably gay. Yeah, I would imagine stuff like he has Grindr on his phone, and he is attracted to other men. That's probably a good indication. Well, also, he wears skinny jeans. Anyone who wears skinny jeans, you got to question. I'm just saying that because I don't wear skinny jeans.
What if he if he drinks a Coke?
If he drinks a Coke, I mean, it depends what bar he's in when he's drinking it or trying to drink it. Yeah, no, I don't think Coke is a signal of gayness.
Well, this man's girlfriend has found something else. So it starts with, my girlfriend is accusing me of being gay because I didn't cheat on her.
Okay.
So we've been together for about 2 years now. She's always been the jealous type, but it's never bothered me because I'm not a very social person, so I never felt she would have a reason to be jealous. According to my girlfriend, women hit on me often. I really didn't believe that this is the case because I'm an average-looking dude and I don't put myself out there like that. But she insists this is the case. She's made up multiple attempts to catfish me. It was painfully obvious what she was trying to do. She sent me a message like, I saw your post and you're so funny. Do you want to hook up? And attached a picture of an attractive woman. I knew it was BS and just replied, you're not fooling anyone. So there you go. Proof he's gay.
I mean, I've been in a pretty similar situation. I get that all the time, you know, just like
The being gay part.
accusations fly left and right, you know. It's like it's just part of Wednesdays. But yeah, I feel like this guy there might be more to it than this. I don't know.
Well, it says the rest of the day she gave me the cold shoulder and then had an attitude. When I called her out, she said, "If you were a real man, you wouldn't have even responded to the message." I handed her my phone and passcode and told her she can search everything. She did, and she gave it back to me about an hour later. At this point, I asked, "Did you find what you were looking for?" while laughing. Now she's accusing me of being gay. She didn't find any messages between me and other women. My search history is mostly about the shows I watch and recipes I want to cook and some medical questions about my pets. She said, if I'm not seeking out other women, I must be gay.
Sounds pretty gay.
What the hell am I supposed to do? Sorry.
Looking up recipes and shows he's watching, but he doesn't say what shows he's watching. So yeah, I'm just saying it's sounding like it's a slippery slope right here.
He's watching Craic, great guy.
Yeah, you know.
Gossip Girl.
Yeah, she found all the gay porn on his laptop. That's why she's like, you know what you've been watching. Shows indeed.
Well, I mean, it's not like she overreacted. It says, what the hell am I supposed to do? I did nothing wrong, and somehow I'm still the bad guy. She told me to leave the house because she doesn't want to see me. Also called her family and said I'm gay, and now her brother wants to fight me.
I love that reaction. I love that it's like, dude is told, this guy's gay. He's like, I'm going to fight him. And then we'll see who's gay. Yeah, you know, this seems to me like a situation where the girl has gone, I need to break up with this dude, but I need to find a reason why, because there's not really a reason why. But let's just try and make one up. And she's trying to just break up with him. That's all it is. But she's a little bit cracked. So.
Or she found something else on the phone.
Or there's lots of like gay porn and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And he's like, there's no way she would have looked in the secret folder where it.
He was like, I've always wondered what it would be like to be pegged. So maybe we could look into that. And she's like, I think you might be gay. And he's like, no, Brian, I'm not. Oh, wait, hang on. Not Brian. So, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Look, either way, if you're not, it's fine. Just move on and you know, find a non-gay partner again. Someone else, someone new, someone who doesn't think you're gay.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Well, on a related note.
Okay.
What's the worst Christmas gift a girl can get from her boyfriend?
Oh, probably like herpes. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, I did say related note. So
yeah, I don't know. Some gay porn.
That might be better than this. Well, anyway, so it says it was Christmas morning and I'd been eagerly awaiting to see what my boyfriend had gotten me. Mm-hmm. We'd been dating for a few months and I thought he was really into me. We had been talking a lot about the future and I thought things were going great. But when I opened my gift, my heart sank. There was a rainbow flag and a card that read, I'm gay.
That's how you tell somebody. You build them up to think that they're going to spend the rest of their life with you, and then you're like, no. I was with you for a while, but now I've decided I'm gay. So,
Merry Christmas.
Have a great day. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's weird. What did she buy him? Something like, or get him for Christmas? That's what I want to know. What was the return gift? The other side of it.
Yeah, what do you do at that point? Like if you've spent like $1,000 on some fancy gift and then
Yeah, and you get like a rainbow flag and a disappointment in life. Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. I feel like he could have told her a week before Christmas. That's what.
Yeah, it's a very odd way to tell someone.
Yeah, because he was probably just waiting for her to buy him a PS5, and he got the PS5 and left her a flag that said "I'm gay" on it. So there you go. Got him a PS5 though, so it's all good.
Double win for him.
Yeah. So hey, I don't know. It seems like the wrong way to do it. I feel like you should have had something else. I mean, it's one way of getting out of buying an actual Christmas present for someone. So, next year, we can all use that.
Dad, here's my gift.
I didn't know what to get you, so ta-da.
And they're like, we know you came out last year. Yeah, but still, it's my gift for you.
Yeah, I am the gift. Here is my statement. Yeah, probably. One way. Christmas gifts from now on are going to be so different for both of them. Like that girl, every time she gets a gift, is going to be like, "Oh shit." Open this. Hope it's not a fucking flag and a note.
Well, I think if you're like the next boyfriend, the next year you give her one and you just send it, just says I'm straight.
Possibly. Yeah.
Unless you're actually gay as well, and then it's like a repeating thing.
Yeah. I think on hearing that story, you would have to fuck around with it a little bit and be like, gonna do something. Yeah. All
right. Well, finally, now this is titled, I asked my boyfriend to wear a skirt when we were at home. And why do you think that would be?
Because he looks sexy in a skirt.
No. Let's say this is kind of a positive reason too.
Okay. To air out his balls, make him less pungent.
Well, it starts with, I was in a serious relationship with my boyfriend for over 3 years. We had a lot of trust and understanding between us, but recently things become a bit more stale, and I wanted to spice things up. So I decided to do something that I thought would make him feel more comfortable and make us closer.
Okay.
I asked my boyfriend to wear a skirt when we were at home. At first, he was a little confused. He asked me why I wanted him to wear a skirt, and I told him it would give us an opportunity to be more intimate. I told him it would make me feel more comfortable and intimate when I could grab his banana anytime I wanted.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if your girl's going to tell you, I just want to be able to grab you anytime I want, so wear a skirt, I think most dudes are going to be like, all right then, I'll wear a skirt. Just get me one in each different color.
Yeah, you two birds with one stone.
It's funny, I was just about to say that I was thinking of wearing skirts. And what kind of blouses do you want me to wear? Just like, no, you're fine. You can wear whatever on the top. No, I've got to go a matching outfit. It's not a savage. But anyway, yeah. There you go.
Well, it says that after a few days of convincing, he finally agreed to wear a skirt at home with me. He was a bit hesitant at first, but once he realized how much it meant to me, he was willing to do it. The first few times he wore a skirt, he was a little bit uncomfortable, but after a few weeks, he started to feel more comfortable in it, and he even started to enjoy it. He felt like he was able to express himself more, and he was able to show off his true self to me.
Oh, so lovely.
I was really happy that he was willing to do this for me. I felt like it was a great way to show my love and appreciation for him. And I was also happy that he was able to feel comfortable in his own skin. A lot of this sounds more like that wasn't the exact reason.
I mean, I'm just thinking about like the panic that would come across him when the doorbell rings and he answers the door and he's like, what are you wearing? Yeah, this is my skirt. And then the explanation is, oh, she wanted to be able to grab me anytime she wanted. Well,
sure, buddy, sure.
To wear a skirt for that. So yeah, surprise visits from neighbors and friends and everything just completely discouraged.
Or just like having curtains open.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's an interesting thing. I feel like this article may have been written by a dude who's saying that his girl wanted him to wear the skirt. I think he just wanted to wear it himself. He was like, it'd be a great idea. He
wants to send this to his girlfriend so that she will copy the idea.
Hey, look at this awesome article I found. What if we did this too? She's like, no.
She's like, okay, but I don't want to touch you anyway, so.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to get excited about a micro penis. So skirt or no skirt, it's not going to make a difference.
It will make it easier, though, if you slip on a bottle of lube and land on a World War I bomb. Or a ladyboy.
Just brings excitement to the situation. It makes it more adrenaline fueled, because you never know. It could be the last thrust of your life in many ways. So
hopefully you go out with a bang.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Absolutely.
What a way to die.
Yeah. What a way to end the show on
dreams coming true.
Yeah, it's good to know we're not the only ones out there doing fucked up shit. But there you go.
I just wear my skirt for fun.
Yeah, it's all in good nature though, so it's there's no problems. We're not hurting anyone except for the 16 other people.
Or windy days.
I mean, look, it's all just private lives. It's all good. Anyway, sounds like we've got some catching up to do though. There's an 88-year-old shoving things up his ass, so we gotta figure out more cool things to do. And wearing skirts around the house. So
yeah, well, until next week.
Yeah, all right, man. Have a good one.
You didn't fall on a bottle of lube and land on a World War I bomb.
I'll try not to, but we'll see.
I try to wear a skirt and
it sounds like a plan. We'll see. See how it works.
Yeah.